600 marchers took to the streets this morning to take part in the annual NAIDOC March through the heart of Melbourne. Held every year to honour Indigenous culture and achievements, for many the event is also political. This year's national theme, the 40-year anniversary of the Tent Embassy, was a reminder of Indigenous politics, past and present. Harmony was the focus for Victorian NAIDOC, choosing unity in community for its theme.
It's just an opportunity to stand back and think about the unity that we feel during NAIDOC Week, the unity that we used to feel, I guess, in the 80s and the 90s when our community was a lot tighter.
While police presence was clear, the demonstration was orderly, with many families and children among the marchers. The march travelled down Nicholson Street to Parliament House before stopping traffic through the city. Finishing in Federation Square, emotions were clearly high.
We've got to stand up for all oppressed. In this land, that means us.
We shouldn't be begging for anything. It's you should be giving us. You know, we're the people that see for thousands and thousands of years. You still, a lot of people they just think that's a joke.
But ultimately, NAIDOC Week is about the celebration of Aboriginal culture. And as you can see, hundreds of people have turned out today to celebrate. A concert in Federation Square providing a bit of respite for the weary marchers who've walked from Fitzroy this morning.
Indigenous culture was on display until the early evening, with dancers and musicians proudly showing off their heritage. NAIDOC Week celebrations are continuing across Australia and will wrap up tomorrow. Kirsten Robb, Melbourne University News.
But the federal government aren't the only ones who need convincing. There are concerns that the scheme will lower the average cost of land, leaving existing landowners at a loss. While this new treatment plant represents a major step forward for water recycling, the government is adamant that the issue of recycled drinking water is not on the table. Why is it still important for the public to get involved in the Lost Dogs Home and adopt animals like the dogs we saw here today? Are there fears that this might escalate? What's been the reaction from people that you've talked about who have actually been off work for workers' compensation to this new program? The St Kilda Triangle certainly is an iconic location here in Melbourne, the place where Melbourne meets St Kilda and the ocean. And last week, the Port Phillip Council finally put in place plans for the redevelopment of this site after more than 10 years battling with the community over what should be done with this beautiful location. The old plan back in 2002 included 180 shops, a seaside supermarket and a luxury hotel, but that was met with a community backlash. The new plan, however, is a quarter of that plan's size and includes community-friendly areas like live performance spaces and areas for the community to meet. It also includes a redevelopment to the Palais Theatre, which is just behind me here. It's certainly an iconic place here in St Kilda, a place where bands like the Rolling Stones have played in the past. And a redevelopment to that certainly will help this area feel like it's more connected. Right now with the roads and all of the spaces, it just really feels like a bit of a no man's land. And certainly it's 5 o'clock here on a Friday night and it really does feel like a ghost land. Nobody's around, there's no community involvement, no culture. It's a real shame and it will be great to see this space redeveloped in the future.